folks, look, guys, I told y'all I would get a guest on the show, and I think my guest is top notch tonight. So I definitely get a check mark in the cool guest category. But the way this came about was through social media. Last night I'm tweeting, and because my wife doesn't know something on TV, the commercial comes on, and she's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is so good. This is so going on Twitter." So I tweet out tag team and DC Glenn. And guess what? They respond to my account. They reach out. They want to come on the show. Glenn is here with us. Glenn, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, man. I'm doing very, very good. Yeah, man. I'm up at cause I get up like 4 o'clock every morning. I don't know why. I used to be a vampire because I was DJ all my life. So I would go to sleep at 5, 6 o'clock. But now I guess I don't, the club was a fountain of youth. Soon 2 weeks after I retired from DJing, I turned to an old dude. So I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's almost my bedtime now. But no, I was every day I get up and just scour the internet looking for scoop there it is videos and whatnot, and just do my due diligence on SEO and social media and things. And I saw your tweet and I was like, wait a minute, because I found out last night that we were grand marshals, right? Well, yesterday.
Wow.
And we knew about it, but we had to cut a video real quick, right? Because we thought it was going to be virtual. And I was like, I thought we were going to just have to ride down the road because I live in Atlanta. So that's nothing to get to Talladega. And they're like, we want to do it virtual, so you guys got to cut a video. So I went to a studio and had to get my people together, but it came out really good. And I think the race fans are going to love it. So I was like, let me reach out to this guy and just recognize that I see. And Jerry was like, hey man, you want to be on the show tonight? And I was like, the reason I didn't answer because I'm an actor and I do voiceover and I just do a ton of things. I've been doing interviews and auditions and voiceovers. Then I got to be on set tomorrow, and then it just never stops. And I didn't want to promise something and then you be looking crazy to all your boys. So I was like, I had to make sure I can be on tonight. Then when you just hit me, it's like, I got you, dude. So Jerry's the coolest. Go on and say it, everybody.
All right, hey, awesome. They're gonna eat they're gonna eat those words there. I will use those in a promo, Glenn. I promise you. But
Jerry is cool. Jerry is cool.
We're gonna hear that for the next 5 to 10 episodes. So when it dies down, he's gonna be reaching out to you to ask you to jump back on. So I'll start with one of the first questions. But how did you get involved in NASCAR? Have you been watching races before and stuff like that, or is this going to be one of your first races you've really been into or been involved with?
I've been watching NASCAR all my life, right? And I mean, I've been in Atlanta for 30 years, so kind of can't miss it, right? And it varies in degrees of what I watch and what I don't watch. Usually, I'm not a novice, so I'll watch a little bit of a race and then switch to something else. But when it's deep and when championships are on the line, and my favorite driver used to be Jeff Gordon. So, and I understand Jeff Gordon is Jeff Gordon, but I used to like him. I'm sorry. And whenever he would race, I would watch the race, right? And then it just kind of faded because I just, it depends on how busy I am or what other sports are on or whatnot. So I understand it. And, I do like it. I just haven't watched it in a while. It's kind of hard to watch. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it's kind of hard to watch any sports unless they get to the playoffs, because it's hard to watch with no fans. But, you adapt to it and you just keep it moving. So hopefully they'll let a lot of fans in. What have you heard? Are they gonna let like what 2,000, 5,000? Or are they just like letting it rip?
Oh, it'll
30% capacity.
30%
capacity this
30?
weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so
hey,
you're looking at probably 40,000 people, 40.
Oh, that's perfect.
40, 50,000. Yeah,
perfect.
So it'll be a good amount. Now, for these youngsters here, they know you from the Geico commercials, sprinkles and scoop there it is. But I know you back from the 90s and stuff from tag team. So explain to them the group and how how all this came about to where you guys got picked for the Geico commercial. It's probably one of the most famous ones out there.
I mean, it's just a culmination of everything, man. We were kids when we made Whoomp, and It was, everybody thinks it was this big Manhattan project, and there was geometry and theorems, and it was just a song about us partying on a Saturday night, right? It was so simple. Like it's just a record, and it just happened to blow up, and we've been able to eat off a record that is evergreen now for 28 years. And I do a lot of other things as well because I've been DJing forever, and I do SEO. I'm a licensed commodities broker. I act, and I do voiceover. I just do a whole bunch of things, right? And I do them well. And the SEO part of it, 2011, I got a call that Barack Obama was in our video, our music video, and the whole world was going crazy. And it was like, he's not, y'all should know he's not in our video, but people actually believe Barack Obama, young Barry, was in our video. And that whole week we did press like crazy. And I was asking the reporters, how did you find me? And it was like, it was real hard to find you. And that's what started my SEO career, because I missed out on a lot of money because of that opportunity. Because when you get press like that, you need to be found. And I wasn't being found. So that's when I started my search engine optimization, learning Google, learning websites, the whole nine. 10 years ago, you type in tag team, it's all wrestling. Now you type in tag team, it's all tag team. So fast forward, I get a call from my agent for acting. They're like, you booked a Geico commercial. And I was like, don't play with me. I didn't even audition for a Geico commercial. They're like, DC, you booked a Geico commercial. I'm like, okay. It's like they said they want a tag team. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. So what happened? They called my phone. And then that's on the website. And then I didn't answer the phone. I never answered that phone. But they found my IMDb because I'm an actor. And then they called my agent. And it just worked real synergistically, and we made the deal. And it was probably one of the most lucrative deals I've ever made. And then we got to work, and I wanted to, it was cool because I got to work on my acting chops. And I wanted to make a spinning scoop. I was like, I want to make this great. I know kids love sprinkles. I don't know why they love sprinkles, but I know they love sprinkles. So I did a salt bath, and I did the LeBron James going to the scores table with the sprinkles. Just all kind of, just like have 5 or 6 things in my pocket that I could go to the director and say, hey, I got some ideas. And we had our production meeting, and the director's like, you can do whatever you want to do. You guys are tag team. And I was like, cool. I was like, well, I wanted to have a spin scoop, but he was like, I was like, I couldn't find nobody to make it right. And he was like, it'll be done tomorrow. And it was. And that's where the spin and scoop came from, the sprinkles and all those things. Those are the things that make, the little nuances that make that commercial great. And then, usually if you have a Geico commercial, you go on tour, but we're in a pandemic. So, I mean, Salt and Pepper did theirs 2014. They toured till the pandemic. So I just said, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take these lemons and make me a lemonade corporation and franchise it and then sell it for $1 billion. That's my mindset. And I just didn't quit. I said, well, let me blow this thing up. Let me blow me up. And I tried to hire a publicist, and they were like, nah, we don't know what to do with you. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay. And then I always do this when I get stuck on something. I join an organization, because organizations are filled with professionals that have been doing it for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And that's what they're there for, to help you. People don't know that. But I joined an organization, Public Relations Society of America, jump on a Zoom call 2 days later, and this big CEO of this PR firm is there. And, I raise my hand. I say, our press release is relevant. And she said, well, what's it for? I'm like, kind of featured in this Geico commercial called Scoop. There it is. And I'm looking at the chat, and it's like, no, that can't be him. Is it? What? That's my favorite commercial. That's my favorite commercial. Oh my God, I love that. My kids love that commercial. And I basically blew up the Zoom, man. And she was like, so is that a press release is relevant? And she was like, yes, because the whole last year has been doom and gloom with COVID, right? And for you guys to come with a good story, feel good story to make everybody smile, enjoy it, and throw sprinkles everywhere. Kids is, getting in trouble because they throwing sprinkles everywhere and eating all the ice cream. That's a good story. And I dropped that press release the Wednesday before the Super Bowl. And the next day I got a call from the Dan Patrick Show, and they were like, we want you on the show. And it was like, can we do it Monday? He's like, no, we want you on the show before the Super Bowl. And I was like, okay. And then Friday we're on the Dan Patrick Show talking about strip clubs, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, when I was on that Zoom call, the lady not only told me press releases were relevant, but she was like, you want to do this to get in front of all your journalists. You want to do this to get in front of all the podcasts, this to get in front of all of the TV talk show hosts, and make sure your pitches. She gave me the whole game in 10 minutes, and I haven't looked back. And it's opened doors for me that I could have never thought possible. So that's why I'm so busy. And I'm like, I mean, it's really kind of why we're talking now, because I get up every day, you know, looking for opportunities because they keep hitting me in the head. And I just try to, you know, I try to do the best I can to just keep moving forward, keep staying positive, and keep making this money, right? And having a good time while I'm doing it, and just talk to people as much as I can and give my wisdom and my knowledge, because it's the exact thing I wish somebody had did to me when I was a young man. Maybe I wouldn't have done some of the stupid things I've done, right? But you got to go through that, and it was fun going through that. So I'm not crying over spilt milk, but I've truly been blessed, and I'm having a good time. And you know, this came out of the blue from nowhere. They're like, we want you to be the Grand Marshals, and I was like, okay, right? But then, you know, I know that's a big deal, right? And then the way I think everybody's gonna be real happy the way we did it, because we did it. I think we did it totally different, and it's gonna be powerful and energetic. And you know, this is gonna lead to. I mean, we basically work for Geico now. I'm telling you, it's like that, and it's like everything they put their name on, we're gonna end up doing something for them. So you hear that, Geico? So I mean, yeah, I mean, and people are upset that commercial went off the air, and I'm like, couldn't play it forever. You know what I mean? Like, how long do you think it was going to? We want that commercial. It's just like, calm down. It'll be back, maybe. You know how Geico does. So,
Yeah.
And then for me, it's just about, you know, the pandemic changed everything for me. So it's just about just grinding and getting better, because 2020 been one of the best years of my life. I shot 2 movies, 2 television shows, tons of voiceover. And I got 4 things right now I would love to talk to y'all about, but I had to sign non-disclosure agreements. So this is definitely unexpected second act, and you're never too old, man. You're never too old. I feel like a kid again. My knees don't, but I do.
I want to pitch this to Zach, because I know he's got a question, but I want to tell you a little bit about him. You can Google him on IMDb, because he's also an actor. Zach Tanzareti, he's got a pretty good list going. So maybe you guys can hook up, and you can give him some advice. But I know he knows
what I'm going through. You know, I'm almost 200 auditions, right? But
well, yeah, I'm a background actor, so you'll be in the foreground doing your thing, and I'll be in the background, kind of being your hype man, I guess.
That's kind of how I got started acting. I got started acting 3 years ago, because I got signed to People Store in Atlanta for a voiceover. And I was like, man, can I just, you know, I kind of just want to play around and do some, you know, extra stuff. And they're like, we don't do that. I was like, okay, calm down. It's like, and then the owner came in. She was like, I love your face. Put them on camera. And then I was like, okay. And then you know how hard it is to get an agent. So I had an agent instantly and got thrown into acting. And then after I took my first couple of acting classes, I was like, oh yeah, I get to be a kid again. And I was in class every day, sometimes 2, 3, 4 classes a day until the pandemic hit. And just before the pandemic hit, I booked my first Pizza Hut national commercial for March Madness. And then the pandemic hit, and it was like, nope, we're not doing it. It was like, oh. But I was happy because I booked. It wasn't even about the money. They picked me, right? And sometimes that's way more important, because that was the first big one I had, especially after just 3 years. So I'm happy, man. Everything is going good, and I can't complain. And I just try to be positive and just give people my hustle, and just let everybody know that anything you want to do, it can be done. You have to have a different mindset.
Yeah, it's great to hear that just one commercial spot can literally reignite an entire career. I know when it came to that song, obviously everyone hears it in that commercial now, but I mean, I knew it from the Elf movie back in 2003 when Will Ferrell was danced to it. I know it's been in numerous movies since then. But has that song or any of your work ever come up and you listened to it and it kind of either surprised you or made you go like, oh, wow, that was really cool that they put it in there?
No, it pissed me off. That's how Will Ferrell happened. I mean, how Elf happened. I'm sitting in the movie theater and I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good movie. And you come to the middle scene, I'm like, Will Ferrell's dancing on the table, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, that's a surprise.
Because we were in like a 20-year lawsuit, right? You know, I was young and signed a bad contract like everybody else. And my situation was different because then one company went bankrupt, the other company bought it out of bankruptcy, but wasn't supposed to take something. Then it was a battle, and we were in the middle. This went on for 20 years. We didn't get it resolved to 2017, but we prevailed, right? But it was like war. I lost a leg, an arm, I got an eye patch. I was tore up, but I'm still breathing, right? So I had a new lease, and it just, the music thing, we were never going to make anything bigger than Whoop There It Is, period. Just like there'll never be a bigger commercial than the Geico commercial. We make something bigger than the Geico commercial, then whatever it is, I need to put it in a bottle and sell it, because it's, lightning you can strike twice, but 3 times, man. But I mean, I expect to have big things in the future, but I'm not going to keep trying to make a bigger record and a bigger commercial. Those are things that are kind of etched in stone, and, I'll be remembered forever for it. So it definitely worked out. It definitely worked out. But every time I used to hear it in a commercial, or my phone would start ringing. Hey, you guys were in such and such. You were guys in such and such. Did y'all get paid? Yeah, we got paid. Shut up. Right? It was just constantly the same question. And it's like, we got paid, but we didn't get what we were supposed to get paid. Right. And, but I never cried over spilt milk. And I realized that I had, the Elf movie made me realize that I had an evergreen record. I had a hit record forever. Right. So it was up to me and my hustle to get my money, however I could get it. And that's why I am like I am, all motivational speaker, positive, hustling, trying to figure things out all the time. I've been doing it all my life, and it's just served me so well, because it has helped me in situations where other people would have quit, just because of just the situation they're in. And I just don't quit. I don't,
right.
Because there's always a solution. It could be far-fetched, but if you work your way back from a far-fetched solution to meet yourself halfway, that's the solution, right? So you just have to think differently. I think differently. That's why they call me DC the Brain Supreme. They've been, since I was young, they were like, you just always figuring stuff out. I was like, can't help it. But
right. It's so hard with the music industry, I guess, when it comes to that stuff. I mean, about like Spotify, and I've heard a lot of stories about that.
Mm-hmm.
Same with you, I guess.
I think they get it worse. They got it worse today. Because at least we've always been able to keep our show money. Any money outside of what the record makes for the record company, we used to keep everything, but they take everything these days.
Yeah.
Because there is no record like there is no physical, 4 million physical pieces of records, right? We don't sell like 7 million records overall. And that doesn't happen anymore. The physical vinyl and cassette and disc, it's all in the air. So that could be manipulated so bad. And then these artists sign these deals, and artists always ask me, put me in the game, let me do this, let me do that. And I try to help them. I'm like, here's a folder, give me an email, I'll give you a folder, and read that book or look at that video and call me. I'm not gonna give you the whole game, I'm gonna give you one piece just to see if you're gonna do it. And 98% of people don't call me back because they want to be stars. Everybody wants it now, right? And in that folder is a book on music publishing. And music publishing in the music industry is everything, because if you're on your publishing, you can have a mediocre record and make money off of it forever. So it's like, I'm giving them the keys to the kingdom, so they'll never be taken advantage of. I'm giving them the back end first. The front end's easy. The cars, the women, the money, all that's easy. But you've seen everybody rise and fall. You get hot and then you're not. And a lot of people can't handle that when they drop, and then they get mad at their record company, then they try to sue, and then record company got long money, we got short money, right? And people just fall by the wayside. And the music industry is littered with people who've had a hit record or a hit album. You never hear from them again because they had bad deals and they couldn't sustain it. So It's tragic, but I take full responsibility. I'm a grown man. I made mistakes, and beauty of life is that you don't have to live with those mistakes. You can go back and correct those mistakes. And that's what I'm doing now. And I vowed that I will not leave this earth regretting that I didn't do something or try something. So I don't even have a bucket list. I think I got like 2 things on my bucket list. And I really tried, right? But I've done a lot, and I'm a simple person, and I've done everything. I just want a couple more things and I'm happy. I worked in a strip club for 30 years. What more do I need? I was liberated as a man after the first year, right? And that's why I am, because I mean that's what drives men, right? That's what drives us, especially as young men. But when you're around 150 beautiful butt naked women every day, you get kind of immune. And I just got kind of immune. You know, I do my thing, but it's not the most important thing in the world like it is to a lot of people, right? And I just couldn't do it anymore. And I worked regular clubs, I worked traveled, I did all kind of stuff. And then I've been all over the world performing. So it's like, what more can be done, right? What more can be done on that front? And we went to Rio de Janeiro. Woo, boy.
Nice.
That's the most incredible place on earth. It's the poorest place on earth, but it's the most incredible women you ever see in your life. Let me start talking about that. Well, y'all wives listeners, like, I liked him till he did that.
So, yeah, okay. They'll understand. They'll understand.
Yeah. As Jerry said, we're all young over here, so.
Yeah. Well, here I'll date myself. I remember whoop there it is from D2 the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Now, was it easy or difficult to rework the lyrics for the Geico commercial?
Nah, because it's just one line. Actually, it was soup, there it is. The first iteration was soup, there it is. And I was like, man, how am I going to prepare for that? I'm looking at Jerry Seinfeld's Soup Nazi issue. I'm like, okay, let me think if I can. He's like, no, we're gonna do ice cream. I was like, cool. Because my father used to make ice cream for us, and he would do the eggs and the milk and the vanilla and the sugar. And we had that old school crank, right? That old ice cream churn where you put it in the silver cylinder and then the ice around with the salt rock. My brother do 5 minutes and I do 5 minutes, and 20 minutes, 2 kids eating ice cream. And I wanted to bring that essence to the commercial, and that's what it does for kids. Things I can even explain. I get videos every day of people sending me their children, babies, and that commercial comes on. They're playing with their blocks. That commercial comes on. They look up, and they can't even walk or talk, and they fight tooth and nail to get up on their feet and get to the TV, booty shaking the whole time. Don't even know why. And I can't explain that. I can't explain it at all. I can't explain why. All I hear is people saying, man, my 90-year-old daddy loves you guys. And I'm like, how is that even possible? Right? Like what, but something about it. I think it's just the fact that we had a ball that day. That was so much. We had so much fun, and it showed. And that's how we used to party back then. It was about dancing, having fun, just whatever. Now everything is kind of serious. I think people forgot how to dance. It's just not, just that nostalgia of the good old days, I guess. I don't know what it is, man. I just know I'm glad I got a good commercial that, people gonna remember. And that right now, I'm campaigning for all the awards, Clio Awards, all that stuff. Because, that's what you got to do. I'm about to milk every single piece of juice out of this thing that I can, man. Because that's what that is there for me. And just be ready. Just prepare myself for all the opportunities that come my way.
But it kind of sucks that y'all are doing Talladega virtually, because Talladega is a party track.
I know.
Oh,
man, I understand what Talladega is.
When all this is
right?
over with, I want you to come back and be our guest at Talladega.
Yeah,
we'll hook you up.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know that I just know Alabama, right? And I just know that I know that there's just lines and lines and lines and lines and lines of people when it comes to that. You want to avoid that area at all costs. Just like Atlanta Speedway gets like that when they do their big race. But Talladega's the one. Talladega, Daytona, and a couple other ones, you just know that those are going to just be wall to wall. And I'm just glad to be a part of it, man. I think it's cool because they out there like, we're gonna give you guys a ride around the track, so we get to get in a Geico car and drive around the track and all kind of stuff at a later date. But they hooking us up, so this is like once in a lifetime things. People don't get to do these things often, so I'm glad we did it, and it was all good.
We need to get with you on some of that SEO stuff and help out kicking the tires, and we may have a good relationship forming here.
Yeah, man. It took me 10 years, man. It was hard. It was brutal, right? Because it's a moving target, right?
For sure.
And I'm still like right now. I know right now I'm building a post about this event, right? And I'm trying to rank it in 2 days just to see if it'll rank. I'm trying to rank it on Talladega or Geico 500, and if I pull that off, come on, man. You know how many people are going to be typing in those searches this weekend? And then all those eyes are right on Tag Team, and they go right back to the site. And then there's more emails. That's just more people who are knowing about Tag Team. That's what you have to do. You got to be found. I mean, it's amazing. I'm getting so many requests to do shout outs, and Cameo is begging me. They're like, DC, you could be making so much money. I said, no, I'm doing PR now. I got too much going on, and you can't do everything. Or something like, I understand that I can make money, but what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make money $300,000, $500,000 chunks at a time. So thank you, but I'll do Cameo when I get to it, right? Because I don't want to spend my whole day doing shouts out to people. I don't mind, but I got to do auditions all day. You know what I mean? It's like I got so many different things to do that you can't spread yourself thin, right? Especially for just, for money. You have to stay focused and know what you want. And I know what I want. And I want to master or have some type of mastery over acting and voiceover, because that's all I want. Then I'm like, I've done the rap thing, I've done the acting thing, I've done the voiceover thing. I want to be in Star Wars or The Mandalorian, right? Every interview I do, I'm like, Dave Leone, Jon Favreau, y'all need to come get me. Y'all missing out. I'm trying to tell you, live action or animation, come get me. And just got to throw it out in the universe. Now, that's far-fetched, but somebody might be listening to y'all's podcast, be like, hey, man, assistant or something, like, the guy from Geico commercial, he shouted you out. He wants to be in, set up a meeting with his agent. My kids love that commercial. That's how it happens, though. That's how it happens. Just little things like that. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. And I don't act like it's a quid pro quo. I do that and keep doing that, then this is going to happen. I just play offense. I just keep shooting.
Well, you don't have to do anything for us because you already gave me the shout out. You said I was cool. I'm good. We got that promo. It's cut. it's sealed. It's there.
Oh God, DC, what do you do?
That's funny. But hey, man, y'all have me here all night, man. I gotta go to sleep, man.
I'll let you go. I know you're busy, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on. I know the guys do.
Yes.
And we got some that couldn't make it on the show tonight. But man, thank you for your time. Have a great time at Talladega when you get there. And I can't wait to see what you guys cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I hope it is. I hope everybody like, what the heck is that? I'm sure they wouldn't have approved it if they didn't like it. So it's all good. All right. But hey, man, you gentlemen stay safe. And I really appreciate y'all for letting me sit here and run my mouth for a little while. I get better when I run my mouth, because even if we just talking, I'm figuring things out and I'm being a better man than I was yesterday. So I thank you for that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you being on.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Y'all take care.